Good morning. It's April the 13th, 2017, the last trading day this week. All markets and exchanges are closed tomorrow. In spite of the fact that we have retail sales, a couple other news items that can move the markets. CPI and retail sales and business inventory. So banks will be open tomorrow, but the markets won't. We'll start with our customary disclaimer. Hypothetical or simulated performance results have certain limitations, unlike an actual performance record. Simulated results do not represent actual trading. Also, since the trades have not been executed, the results may have over or undercompensated for the impact of any of certain market factors, such as lack of liquidity. Simulated trading programs in general are also subject to the fact that they're designed with the benefit of hindsight. No representation is being made that any account will or is likely to achieve profit or losses similar to those shown. What a day yesterday. A brutally frank press conference in Moscow where Tillerson just kind of laid it out. This is the way that it is, and this is the way they see it, and this is the way we're going to play this hand, and Russia's welcome to join us. We haven't had language that frank. I really can't remember when. Maybe Reagan. It's been that long. So things have changed internationally. It looks like a deal has been cut with China. They're no longer currency manipulators. Looks like China is going to try to help us with North Korea. I don't know how far you can trust them, but right now it looks pretty good. Russia response to what happened in Syria has been pretty muted. I mean, with the usual bluster. The vote at the UN, they vetoed any action against Syria by the UN, as one would expect. So Russia is clearly siding with a guy who has used chemical weapons on his own population, and that won't get Russia brownie points internationally. So we'll see how all this plays out. Yesterday, the gold, treasuries, and the euro took off of Trump's comments that he wanted a weaker dollar to help us with the export game. And didn't really impact futures all that much on as far as equities went or the actual markets, but overnight equities are off around the globe. Only markets up was China's, which was up 0.7%, not very much, based on the best export news they've had in a couple of months. Europe's down. Hong Kong and Japan's markets are down. Our E-mini is down, and the talk is that it's down because of today's bank earnings. So we'll see how it plays out. If the E-mini continues to sell, it should help treasuries and gold. This morning we got jobless claims, 243. PPI unchanged. Ex-food and energy plus 0.2. Core PPI up 0.2. PPI is the precursor. It leads CPI, so it has more weight than the CPI does. Consumer sentiment 97. Forex has it at 97.1, so 97 is the number. Natural gas plus 5B. And Baker Hughes rig count, don't know, but 971, 839, and the overall number could be lower, and the U.S. rig count could be higher. That's the way it's been playing of late. So I think we've lost about, I think we had a high of 1039, 1040. So we've lost about 70 rigs between Canada and Mexico, and we've picked up, gosh, I don't know how many in the U.S., but a lot. Okay, one of the things that happens in Globex, highs or lows often are set in the WV period. So we have a high right here, 2608, that came in V. and we have a high of 6.5. So resistance is 8 to 12. Our first sell is 7 to 11. Might be lower than that if we do sell. 15 to 19 for sell 2. First buy is 29 to 01, buy 1. You can see that was the high yesterday. You can see that we didn't quite retest that high. So we have a high of 27 or 27.5. So the best long would be against 28, letting him come back and retest that high or that high. Then 21 to 25 for buy 2. But it'll all hinge on the direction of the ES, in my opinion. So if the ES doesn't break that 23.30 area and starts back up, Treasuries can sell. And there's a pretty good chance that the high is in right now at 126.08. Looking at the 30-year, okay, here's the retest of the breakout. They did it in London. It held. Similar situation to the note. Quite often the high is set in W or V, so we're going to have 8 to 12 as number 1. 15 to 19, sell 1. 23, 27, sell 2. All hinges on the direction of the E-mini. The E-mini rallies back today. And there's a tendency to do that. We have a 3-day holiday here, and nobody wants anybody fretting over the stock market over this 3-day weekend. So there's a pretty good chance that the big boys will come in and support the market today. On the buy side, 20 to 24, number 1. 13 to 17, buy 1. And then 1 to 5, buy 2. Gold was really, really strong. Several reasons to buy gold. Inflation. World War III is about to break out. Just kidding. But we've had very, very strong. He put all of them together. Trump's comments took us higher. So stops above 1300 is where we are right now. So first sell is 90 to 92. Let them get stops above overnight session high. Second sell will be 95 to 97. Then stops above 1300. On the buy side, 84, 86, buy 1. Again, it'll just swing on what the E-mini is going to do. And then 79 to 81 for buy 2. But rallies in treasuries, the euro and gold all started off of Trump's comments yesterday. The euro. If Trump wants a weaker dollar, what the heck? Buy the euro, sell the dollar, right? Okay, it is selling right now. The selling started in Frankfurt, right here after hitting the high in Asia. Then we have a London high of 88. I think we had a 107 sell yesterday. And 107 even, and the high was 107.10. So that set up pretty nicely. Our first buy was 106.50 this morning, and then 106.25. We've done so well over the last 3 or 4 years, just waiting 2 days to sell it, and It looks like that's again the case. 106.75, sell 1. 107, sell 2. Crude oil. World War III. There was a big economic report out saying that I think the international, I forget which it was, I will go back and find it, saying that OPEC was in compliance or cut back their production. So, and everybody's talking about rolling the current production to quotas into the second half of 2017. When OPEC can't get a deal, a new deal, they always go back with the existing deal. So I think the roll on June the 30th to the second half of the year is probably a done deal. Okay, 53.50 to 75, sell 1. 54, 54 and a quarter, sell 2. In the trading range, we've got a buyer 52.75, a little bit lower. 52.75, 53. And we've had a seller at 53.50, 53.75. We'll see if that holds up today. The big international news, increasing tensions, is North Korea is supposedly getting ready to test another nuke. Again, it's got, China has effectively used North Korea as a foil. China needs our export market a lot more than they need North Korea. And while China talks tough and we're going to nuke Los Angeles, comments come out from generals every now and then, they have huge problems. And you see it, they re-liquefied their banking system after withholding easy money for, I think, 10, 12 days. They're at the edge. They can't tighten credit. They can't pull in loans. They can't call bad loans. They can't lose their export markets. So that's the leverage that we have over China. And it is a dictatorship. They have no problems pulling out the guns on their own population. You can keep populations quiet as long as their bellies are full under tyranny. And it's not, but if they have empty bellies and you have tyranny, that's when revolutions start. So China doesn't have as much flexibility as a lot of people think they do. 23.30 is support. So our first buy is 29 to 31. Let them get stops below 30. They've already gotten stops below that level. So we have the low volume number at 31. So we're trying to lean against that. And then 24, 26 for buy 2. North Korea. Don't know what they're going to do. They promised a big new piece of news or big surprise today, is what they said. It hasn't happened yet. So everybody's guessing that it is a underground nuclear test. And if that happens, it's probably the initial reaction will be lower in the stock market also. Now, we like the short side of the market, and we've had for several days, because what we see are lower highs on the dailies. And then gradually, and we've got a trend line up there that we're working down on, working the market lower with. We're kind of following it. So, still like the short side of the market better. We have bank earnings today that the pundits have ascribed importance to. Jobless claims 243, PPI unchanged, core PPI up 0.2, ex-food and energy up 0.2, consumer sentiment 97, natural gas plus 5 BCF, and Baker Hughes rig count don't know. The focus will be PPI, ex-food and energy, and consumer sentiment. It will take a bit to get stuff up and published. I'm going to get busy with that. I will be back with you as soon as possible.